There was a woman that was asking me about flying, and she asked me how long had I been flying. And I hadn't really thought about that, and it dawned on me like, well, it's been kind of a long time. So two or three of us, we kind of realized, we heard about this award, and we realized, well, you know, maybe we should see if we can, you know, do something about that. So you fill out some paperwork, you go find some records, you find some people who knew you when, and you kind of add it up, and it's a trip down memory lane. You submit all your records to the FAA and you ask them, and they think about it and they say, okay, you do get the award. And what the amount, the award is basically that you've been an active pilot flying for 50 or more years. The airspace is much more complicated now. There's a lot more restrictions on where you can fly, just because there's more people, more airplanes, and one thing or another. Electronics weren't a big thing when I started out. There was a radio and a sort of a primitive navigational radio. There are fewer accidents across the board, whether it be airline or private flying. There are. And the system, I mean, it is a system with all these various pieces all over the place. It's a good system. It's come together partially by people planning for things, and then partially by experience. And aviation has always been an experience-driven industry, if you want to call it that. The people talk now about it's all highly automated. Well, it is and it isn't. You can, excuse me, you can fly a plane automatically, not so much for the takeoff, but for the landings and en route. And there's people, there have been experiments and it's been done. But there's always somebody watching it. Because the weather is going to change. And you can plan a route out from A to B, and then you wind up with a big thunderstorm in the middle, and all of a sudden there's got to be something changed. And whether or not the robo-pilot does it, that's questionable. The real pilot can sit there and make decisions. So you can get highly automated equipment, but at some point there's decisions to be made. Boeing and Airbus, which are the two remaining large aircraft manufacturers. Now, China's coming along pretty fast, but they have different philosophies. The French airplane coming from Airbus has more well, it's almost the same automation, but the thing is that you, the pilot, kind of have to be subservient to what it wants. Whereas in the Boeing, you pick, you choose, and you can hand fly the plane if you choose to. The Airbus, it's not so easily done. It's just, the word in the industry is that Airbus intends their aircraft more for the third world. So they figure that they need a higher degree of automation. The airplane takes care of things more because you have a lower standard of training and experience. Whereas here in the States and in Europe, you got a well-educated population that pilots come from.
Wow. Fascinating.
So there is that word about why Airbus chooses that. No, this is, the 50 years have been great.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I ever intended, and you know, there's luck. Everything has worked out, and I help.